up, guys? It is a new day. It's a brand new day. It's a good day. It's gonna be a great day, actually. It's gonna be a great day. Yeah, you know. Yeah, I'm excited about today, honestly. I'm really excited. I'm excited to get things going. And I think this might be the last entry or the last chapter of a certain book that I have shared with you guys about something regarding a certain person. And last I told you anything, I had sent them a message kind of apologizing for being harsh or angry, because I was very angry, and I was angry when I said the things I said, you know. And the thing that I'm trying to get at is I'm trying to be a better disciple of Christ, but at the same time I'm not trying to let myself get swept up in a whole bunch of stuff, you know, or let myself get caught up in a whole bunch of stuff, a bunch of drama, a bunch of stuff like that, you know. And it's a little tricky because she responded to me last night and sent a really long response, and I wasn't expecting that. And it was like her I don't want to say her farewell message, but it was like she went into a lot of details about a lot of things, and she said things, I guess in her mind she thought that we weren't going to meet up in person since I canceled that one time. And so she felt like she would put everything she would say to me in person in a message. And it was a long message, like I said. And it was, you know, it was a little hard to read. They have been hard to read. They've all been hard to read. Everything from her recently and for a while has been hard to read. Except for when we've been talking about, hey, when do you want to do scripture study? This time? Okay, cool, awesome, fabulous, she'd say. And you know, so but anyway, I guess what I'm getting at, it's just kind of confusing, because I want to respond to her and give her the I don't know, I want to give her the respect of her response, you know. She took the time to write this, and she's really trying her best, I guess, with what she's saying. And, you know, she said some things that she meant well, that she, you know, and I don't know, it's just like a big encapsulating message. But at the same time, it's just, there's things that she said in there about things between me and her that just, if I think about them or if I focus on them, they can drive me crazy. You know what I mean? And so it's just hard, because, you know what I mean? I don't want to get into it again. I don't want to go down a long road. I don't want to talk about things with her, because I do and I don't. I do, but I don't. And I'm sad that I don't, because every time we try, it's just it's painful and it's not fun, and it's like, this is hard, and, you know, I don't know, I don't want to get myself tangled up in anything, but at the same time, I don't want to just ignore her. And my mom's advice was just don't write back at all. Don't write back. Don't involve yourself with this anymore. Don't get yourself twisted up in it anymore. Don't give her, you know, anything that she can use against you, basically, because there's been a lot of things where it's anytime I've said something to her, she's responded with an opposite version of that. And it's just I don't want this ongoing thing, you know? And so it's hard, because I don't even know what my feelings for her are as a person. And I don't even know if I can actually even begin to think about what they are. I can't go down that road, you know? I just can't go down that road. So I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm just going to leave it alone. But I say that, and I'm kind of nervous because I might do something about it. I might message her, you know. But it's just hard. I'm not trying to twist the knife, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to twist the knife, but the knife still feels like it's in me to a certain extent. And I'm just trying to say, leave me alone, you know? And I don't care to know any more about the details of what you think went on, or how things were for you, or what you thought, or what you did, or what you tried, or whatever. I don't care to know any of those things. I just don't care anymore, you know. And yeah, so it's unfortunate, you know. I don't know. I think it was definitely a learning experience. Like, I learned a lot from the relationship. I learned a lot from my interactions with her. Yeah, so there were a lot of positives. But as far as the whole me and her, she and I dynamic go, I do not even want to think about it. Because, you know, I loved her. I loved her. And I wanted the best for her. And I wanted the best for us. I wanted to do whatever it took for us to be happy, to be successful. And we had some really cool times together. And yet, there were other times where I feel like I have just driven a railway spike through my head. Or I feel like a railway spike is being driven through my head. And times of absolute frustration, times of absolute confusion, and something that just kind of strikes me a little bit, it stands out to me. And I don't say this or mean this to point the finger at her, but I say this because I need to remember this as an indicator to help me on my path, basically. To help me on my path, help me in my future relationships. But feeling unworthy and when I shouldn't have, you know, like somehow being made to feel unworthy, somehow being made to feel not good enough, and that recurring theme. And I just cannot believe the audacity of someone who would actually believe that they are better than someone else in a certain respect. Like, her standards about something were higher than mine, and she tried to bring me up to her level. I'm just sitting here going, like, why would you say that to someone? Like, I don't care, even if it was true, like, why would you say that to someone? Like, it's just not helpful. It's not considerate. It's not compassionate at all. And I just don't like that, actually. You know, I hate that. And I would never, like, unless the only circumstance where I would say something messed up like that to someone, or go off on some tirade like that, is if and I don't do this anymore, and I'm not going to do this anymore, but if I was smoking weed and I was high as a kite, maybe then I would say something stupid like that, you know? But in my right mind, I would never say something like that, you know? And I'm kind of beside myself, like, and yes, she is unique. She is, you know, she's got some quirks about her, but it's more than quirks. It's not just quirks. It is, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you about it. She is slightly autistic. Sure, you know, her father is autistic. She was raised in a strange way. There are a lot of reasons why she is the way she is, or she acts the way she does, or says the things she says. And that's the hard part for me too, is because I'm trying to remember all those things despite getting hurt and blasted left and right, trying to remember that, you know, this is just not, you know, she can't help it. It's one of those things. It's like, when she can't help it, she just can't help it. But I am not going to sit around and make excuses. And I'm not going to sit around and say, well, you know what? She is just, you know, she is unique. She is very unique. And the reason why she says these things is because she's so unique. I am just not going to do that. I'm not going to give someone any kind of clearance to just say whatever, and just, you know, I'm just not going to do that. Like, I deserve better, and I deserve more than that, and I don't deserve to be talked to that way, whether I'm dating the person, give me a break, or after. Like, what? Give me a break. Like, unbelievable. And so, whether or not she understands I don't think she understands what she's saying. I don't think she understands how it makes me feel. And she honestly has a very unempathetic way of coming across. And it's like I said before, it's like a red flag. But I'm very confused. Like, she tries to be nice. She tries to be friendly, but she also tries to be honest and truthful and kind and things like that. But what you end up getting is this, like, twisting of the knife, you know, like this. I can't say anything without stabbing you and then twisting it. And it's like, what? You should be able to. What do you mean you can't? You know? And so I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't hate this person. I don't hate her. I'm not angry with her anymore. I can't be. I really just can't be, honestly, because it's been too much to deal with. And I think the best way to look at this whole thing is if this was a lesson that I learned. This was an experience that I had, and, you know, I did my best, and I had the highest of hopes, and that is good. I had the right intentions, and I had the right perspective, and I had, you know what I mean? I did things. I was doing the right things. Am I perfect? No, but it was nothing like she tried to make it out to me. And you know, just to have someone twist the knife, you know, repeatedly is just insane. It's just not right. And so I don't want to go into the details. I don't want an honest conversation about it. I don't want anything about it. I don't want anything to do with it anymore. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to do any of those things. I just want to leave it alone, and I want it to go away in time. And like, even like, she was going through and saying, like, you're really important to me, and, you know, and thank you so much for everything you did for me, and for the love you gave me, and for all this stuff. And I'm just like, it's so confusing, you know. It's just like so confusing. How can you have it both ways? Like, I don't get that, and that's the part that I need to get better at, because I shouldn't be wasting my time and giving my love and giving my giving everything that I have to someone who doesn't really appreciate it, to someone who that just doesn't really appreciate it, because if you appreciated it, you'd be respectful, you'd be kind, you know, you think about things, and you, at the end of the, which means at the end of the day, you wouldn't come up with the kind of stuff you said, you wouldn't come up with the kind of things that you did, you wouldn't come across, you know, like, I just don't get it. So it's like, if you weren't sure, then why did you let this continue, you know? And it's just confusing, but you know, it's gonna be fine, it's gonna be okay. And I have said before, it's definitely brought about some good things, like the freedom that I have now, and the realizations that I have now about myself, about how I'm starting to remember that I like myself, and that I think I'm a good person, things like that, you know? Like, it's crazy. It is just honestly crazy that, yeah, it's honestly crazy that sometimes you can get in a place where you just don't feel like you're good anymore. It doesn't feel like you're a good person, and you're questioning yourself. You're second guessing yourself all the time. Like, I don't want to live a life where I'm sitting here thinking about what I did, and did I do a good job, or did I do a good enough job, and all the time just thinking and guessing and second guessing. It's ridiculous. So ridiculous. So anyway, this is like what's been going on. And I said something when I sent her that message apologizing to her. It's like, no matter what I say, I get the short end of the stick. It's like, no matter what I say, and I didn't apologize to her to get a better reaction out of her, you know, or I didn't apologize to her to, like, for something good to happen. I apologized to her because I honestly, you know, I realized that she wasn't, or at least I thought that she wasn't trying to, you know, hurt me or do things like this, and that she honestly just doesn't have, I don't know what to call it, the common sense to know that your words have, like, the part that drives me, the part that confounds me the most is how a person cannot have any sense about how what they say would make someone feel. It's like, she doesn't care how it makes me feel, she just needs to say it. And I'm just like, what? You're not going to do that to me anymore. You're not going to use me as your soundboard. You're not going to use me as, you know, someone to say what you think and tell them all the feelings about themselves, and tell me, you know, I'm not going to be that person anymore, and I never wanted to be. And that is a super unhealthy dynamic. And, like, she's trying to be healthy. She's trying to do things in a right way. But it's like, you don't see the forest for the trees. You're trying to do this right, and you are trying to, it's like saying, don't bring this into the forest because it's flammable. But while you're saying that, you're sitting here lighting a match in front of a pile of leaves, and you throw it on there. It's like, what? You know, so anyway, that's the gist of it, you guys. And I might speak more about this again, because it's just kind of need to get it off my chest a little bit more. But that's the gist of it.